Hello, everyone. How's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Stardew Valley, shall we? Doing a complete beginner's guide to the game here in 2023. Everyone, what we're going to do is start up a brand new game, and I'm going to teach you the basics and fundamentals by playing and explaining my thought process as I start out in Stardew Valley. If you're a new player and you're looking to understand the game, or if you're thinking about buying the game if you've never played before, this is a tremendous farming simulator game, and a whole lot more than that. That is now ubiquitous. It's on PC, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, I think just about every platform imaginable. It's a beautiful game. It's so much fun. It is a little bit complicated in the beginning to understand everything if you've never played a game like this. So if you're interested in learning the game, this is the guide for you. Now, what I'm going to do when I start this new file is, like I said, explain my thought process, but I'm not going to spoil anything in the game for you. I'm not going to tell you the best and fastest route to make the most money, show you the most efficient build for your farm, or do anything of the like to help you speed through the game and make optimal decisions, because quite frankly, I don't think that's the fun way to play the game your first time through. I want to just arm you with enough information so that you can enjoy the game at your own pace and the way you want to play it, okay? So we're going to talk about the controls, the UI, some basic tips, strategies, and ideas that will hopefully help you enjoy this masterpiece of a game. So we're going to start a new one right here. Now, just for your clarification, I am playing on the PC and I'm using a controller. Okay, so the first thing we do is we design our farmer's aesthetics. Okay, this is our main character, and we're going to just basically decide how they look. This is all purely cosmetic. It has nothing to do with how your character will play. Okay, so let's go ahead and move around like this. And by the way, if you're male or female, you can be in a relationship with whomever you like in the game. This is a game that does have a relationship component, not just for friends, but also for romantic relationships. So keep that in mind, and you can just kind of adjust your skin color to be whatever you'd like. And I always make my character nice and blue with, oh, you know, a fun hairstyle. Oh boy, so many good ones out here. And we're going to go ahead and change our hair color to be a bit more blondish. Yeah, that's good. And then let's make it light. Yep. And let's tweak this. And until we get something that approximates what I'm looking for here, well, this would be that's kind of interesting. Sure, all black hair. All right. No, I don't want that. What I want instead is something. Oh, there it is. Great. And eye color. I like to have blue eyes, you know. There we go. Animal preference. Do you want, you know, kitties? Do you want a dog? Which kind of a dog? You get to just pick whatever animal you want. Now, just to say, I have a Let's Play of this game. I've played over 100 hours of this game on Switch and on PC, different files. I've completed, quote-unquote, the main game to a large extent, and so I have a lot of experience to share with you. I also have received a bunch of tips throughout my streaming and Let's Play of this game that I'm going to share with you that I learned from friendly and knowledgeable players of Stardew Valley. All right, so this looks pretty good, and let's go ahead and yep. And my pants, that's fine. I'm not really too big on that. And let's just give ourselves a name, and we can be, you know, doctor. Space. Incompetent. Dr. Inc. Tutorial. Now, you don't have that many letters to work with. We're just going to do this. Dr. Incompetent Tutorial or Dr. Inc. Tutor. How about that? Looks great. All right. Oops. That's delete. Not what I meant. This is what we want. Great. Farm name. We're going to call this the Learning Farm. These names don't matter. It's just whatever you want for your character and for your farm. And my favorite thing. My favorite thing is love. Who doesn't want love? How about that? Okay. Now, once you are making some of these choices, okay, you can move over here. You can change how your shirt looks. Give yourself overalls or not. Looking good. Looking real good. There's our beard. I like it. Yeah. All right. And good. Okay. And then... Now, if you go all the way to the right, you can also select your farm, okay? So you can start with the standard farm, and then once, I think it was version 1.5 came out, they released a bunch of new farms, okay? I'm going to use the standard farm for this tutorial. Just, you know, everybody will have this. It's a place to start out, but you can pick whichever farm that you like, okay? We're going to pick this one, and we're going to just say, looks good, okay. And we're going to learn the story of Stardew Valley. A man, and for my very special grandson with a sword and a letter, is in a bed. I want you to have this sealed envelope. He's talking to us. These are his last thoughts. It jumped out at us. No, don't open it yet. Have patience. Okay, Gramps. Now listen close. There will come a day when you feel crushed by the burden of modern life. I think that day's already here, my friend. And your bright spirit will fade before a growing emptiness. The game gets really close to the heart, really existential. When that happens, my boy, you'll be ready for this gift. All right, so we open the envelope when we're feeling the pains of modern life. Now let Grandpa rest. And then sometime later, we don't know, we're working at Joja. Here we are in the coding factory. There's two options, working and resting. We're just blasting away on these amazingly large CRT monitors. Life is better with Joja, indeed. Oh, it looks like we've fallen asleep at the helm here. There's a skeleton in the far right cubicle. We don't like what we're doing. This job stinks. Get me out of here. Look at that. We've got the sealed envelope, okay? So at this point, you need to select the envelope by clicking on it. And there's a letter, and it says, Dear Dr. Incompetent Tutorial, if you're reading this, you must be in dire need of a change. I am. The same thing happened to me long ago. I'd lost sight of what mattered most in life, real connections with other people and nature. So I dropped everything and moved to the place I truly belong. Now, before we go to the next page, I do want to say as an aside, this is a great philosophical and ideological description of the game. We're going to be playing a game that connects us to nature through farming, both with fruits, vegetables, and animals, livestock. but we're also going to be making connections, building friendships, meeting people, and doing something altogether in the game's estimation, my own for that matter, more human than working in a soul-crushing, factory like this. I've enclosed the deed to that place, my pride and joy, Learning Far Farm. It's located, it's actually Learning Farm. Farm, I guess I must have deleted the last letter or there weren't enough letters for it. But it's actually, I like Learning Far better. It's kind of like mysterious sounding. And it would be weird if it said Learning Farm twice. So this actually is a happy accident. It's like Bob Ross says. It's located in Stardew Valley on the southern coast. It's the perfect place to start your new life. This was my most precious gift of all, and now it's yours. I know you'll honor the family name, my boy. Good luck. Love, Grandpa. P.S. If Lewis is still alive, say hi to the old guy for me, will you? All right. So here we go. We're taking the bus. There's the ocean, some beautiful rolling green hills, and we're leaving the city, and we're heading full steam ahead to Stardew Valley. We're very close. Oh, an auspicious bird has landed on the sign. We get off the bus, arrive at the bus stop, and are greeted by Robin. Hello, you must be Dr. Incompetent Tutorial. I am. So, a lot of the game will be spent in dialogue boxes like this. Right now we don't have as much information as we will get, but you'll see their portrait on the right, their name below that, and any options and text in the left panel. All right? I'm Robin, the local carpenter. Mayor Lewis sent me here to fetch you and show you the way to your new home. He's there right now, tidying things up for your arrival. The farm's right over here, if you'll follow me, and we're going to learn the lay of the land. She's going to take us there, right from the bus stop, directly to our new home and our farm. Here it is. This is Learning Far Farm. Oh my goodness, it doesn't look that great, my character says. What's the matter? Sure, it's a bit overgrown, but there's some good soil underneath that mess. With a little dedication, you'll have it cleaned up in no time. Or so she claims. And here we are, your new home. Look how happy she is. Hey, Mayor Lewis pops out. Ah, the new farmer. It's us. You mustachioed, suspender-wearing guy. Welcome. I'm Lewis, Mayor of Pelican Town. You know, everyone's been asking about you. It's not every day that someone new moves in. It's quite a big deal. So, you're moving into your grandfather's old cottage. It's a good house, very rustic. It's a nice way of putting that. Were you a realtor in another life, Mayor Lewis? Rustic? That's one way to put it. Oh, Robin echoes my thoughts exactly. Crusty might be a little more apt, though. Heyo. Rude. Robin's chuckling. Don't listen to her, Dr. Incomp Tutorial. She's just trying to make you dissatisfied so that you buy one of her house upgrades. And that is actually the MO of the people in Pelican Town, as you'll see. But it's charming. She's like, what? How dare you call me out? Humph. Anyway, you must be tired from the long journey. You should get some rest. Tomorrow you ought to explore the town a bit and introduce yourself. The townspeople would appreciate that. Oh, I almost forgot. If you have anything to sell, Just place it in this box here. I'll come by during the night to collect it. Nothing creepy about that. Well, good luck. All right. So here we are. The rooster crows every time the game saves, and it's a new day. All right. So there's a little bit of a tutorial built in here. It'll vary based on what kind of setup you're using. I'm using a controller, so we're going to move around using the control pad, the left stick, and you can interact with the A button. And let's open this present, and we received some parsnip seeds. And here's a little something to get us started, said Mayor Lewis. All right, now I'm going to push start, okay? When you push start, you bring up the inventory screen and all of the other panels of information that we can cycle between. But most importantly, we pause the game. I want to talk to you a little bit about the UI, but if I were to do it without pausing it, the time would run away from us. Time is one of the things that we're going to really need to manage in Stardew Valley. It can be very stressful. The time passes very quickly, but I might be so bold, what I'd like to suggest is that don't worry about the time. Don't worry about how much time you're taking to do things the first time you play this game. Have fun, relax, enjoy it. It's a beautiful, chill, fun experience. You can feel under the gun and crunched like you want to get so many things done and have this happen before year 3 or wherever. And that's fine, but I think for your first time, just go at your pace and don't stress out. But that being said, don't waste your time, and we're going to learn how to use our time, what takes up time, how to maybe plan more efficiently as we go. So speaking of time, let's look in the upper right of the screen. You'll see that it's Monday, day 1, okay? And below where it says Monday 1, all right, there's a weather indicator, which is the sun, meaning what weather it is today. It's a sunny day. And then to the right of that, there's a picture of a flower. That means we're in spring. These icons will change to reflect the daily weather and the season that you're in. Below that, you see it's 6:20 a.m. We actually, if everything goes well, will wake up at 6 a.m. when that rooster crows every day, and it's exactly 6. But just in me walking over to move around, I passed 20 minutes. Okay? So you can see the time is moving. Now, to the left of the 620, there's a kind of radial indicator of day and night with a needle on it, and that will move to also give you a visual indication of what time of day it is. Below that, we have our gold. We start with 500 money, okay? There's a plus and minus indicator on that as well below the gold, and that allows you to zoom in and out on the game map, so you can kind of like zoom way out if you want to get a bigger picture, or zoom in if you want to be a little bit closer to the action. And then to the right, there's that bulging exclamation point, meaning that we have a notification. This could be something that the game wants to tell us, a letter in our mailbox, or some other kind of notification that we can look at. Now, if I move more to the center of the screen, what I'm going to see first is when I push start or options on my controller, I open up this inventory screen or my backpack. That's where it defaults. And you can see all of the items that I have in my backpack. Now, currently, my backpack can only hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 slots. And these other rows of inventory space are grayed out because I don't have a backpack that can hold more, but we can upgrade our backpack later to hold more items. Also, everything that we have on this top bar, okay, indicates what will go onto our action bar, which we'll look at in a moment. But these are things that we can quickly cycle between to use. And what do we start with? We begin with a basic axe to chop wood, okay? And as you move over these, I'm just using the directional pad, but you can also use the left analog stick to look at these different items. When you select an item, a tooltip will pop up and display what it is, giving you some flavor text and also instructions on what it actually does. So this is our hoe for digging and tilling the soil. this is our watering can, which we're going to use to water our crops, and it says it can be refilled at any water source, and we'll talk about that. The blue bar beneath the watering can indicates how much water is in the can. It starts filled. It turns black as it empties. The pickaxe we use to break stones. The scythe, we're going to use it to cut grass into hay, okay, if we've built a silo. And also the parsnip seeds, which we can plant. Now, seeds, you can see right here, it says there's a red keyword under it. It says parsnip seeds, and then it says seed underneath that. These have a gray keyword underneath where it says scythe and pickaxe for tool. These are kind of just telling you the basic category of this item. And then it says for parsnip seeds, plant these in the spring, okay, and they take 4 days to mature. Most crops have only 1, maybe 2 seasons that they can be planted in. Sometimes that varies, we'll see. And then it will tell you how long it takes them to grow to maturity so that you can harvest them and then sell or keep the parsnips that you grow or whatever item it is that you are working on farming. Now, down at the bottom, okay, of this inventory screen, you can see my character portrait, and there are paper doll items for 2 accessories, some boots, some pants, a shirt, and a hat, okay? And I don't have anything to equip other than the starting tan striped shirt and the farmer pants that I began with. And it tells you what the farm name is, the Learning Farm, how much money we have, and how much money we've earned totally. Now, we can switch between the different tabs of the inventory by moving up here with the arrow, just using our keys and putting the mouse pointer over the different tabs. You can see skills, social, map, crafting, collections, options, and exit the game. All right, and you can just push the A button on any of these to switch to that tab, or you could use L2 and R2 to cycle between the different tabs. All right, now I will tell you, just very quickly before we even get further, Stardew Valley is a very unique game in how it saves the game, okay? And you need to be very mindful of this when you're playing. So if I say exit the game, okay, and I say exit to desktop or exit to title, I will leave the game and it will not be saving it when I do this. You only save overnight. So we just saved the game. So if I were to exit right now, I wouldn't really lose anything. But you only save by sleeping and allowing the next day to happen. So you have to plan that in. Like if you're halfway through the day and you have to go, unfortunately, you're going to just have to waste a day and come save it. Or just leave your game running and come back to it. But there is no save and quit in this game. You have to rest first and then exit after it says progress saved, okay? So I just want to warn you of that, like right out of the gate, because that's something that's very, other games do this, Graveyard Keeper, Traveler's Rest, stuff like that, but it just, you have to get used to it, okay? Now, let's go back to our skills tab and just move from left to right. These are all of the different skills that we have, okay? So farming, mining, foraging, fishing, and combat. And you will gain experience in these different skills by doing them. And once you hit certain thresholds of level 5 and level 10 in that skill, you'll receive perks for doing that, okay? So just by doing farming and mining and foraging, which foraging means just picking stuff up off of the ground that's resting there, fishing, obviously, and combat means fighting things, and we'll talk about that later. You'll level up in those categories. I will then push to go to the heart panel, which is our relationships. This is our social screen. This shows everybody that we've met so far. If we haven't yet met them, there'll be a question mark next to their portrait, so we don't know these people yet, right? So we haven't met George yet, for example. But if we go into town, we can meet all of these different people. Robin and Lewis we have met. Now, in the middle column with the empty hearts, this reflects our relationship level with this person. And by talking to them, by giving them gifts, okay, we will raise this level up. Maybe doing a quest for this person, helping them with a request or something like that. this will raise the relationship level. If we raise this level, we get benefits from doing so. I won't spoil what that is, okay? Now, if someone says single on the relationship social window, in parentheses down below, you'll notice that they have 8 hearts filled up, but then the last 2 are kind of like grayed out but filled in. And this means that with a single person in the game, you can build up your relationship, and then eventually you can try to marry that person and upgrade your relationship all the way to 10 hearts with a single person, and settle down and have a family with that person. Now, you get to choose whomever you want of the single people. There are mods that let you, I think, marry anybody in the town that you want, but you can just see through the different single people if you're interested in that. But at the beginning of the game, you don't necessarily have to make your choice or worry about any of that right now. Okay? Now, the second from the right column looks like a gift, and that means, have you given this person a present this week? You can give 2 gifts per week to people in the town. One last thing about the gift tab, you can give someone a gift twice per week, but you can only give them a gift once per day. And then the far right column with the dialog box just checks if you have talked to them, okay? So, you boost your relationship, like I said, by talking to people, giving them gifts, and doing, requests and such for them, completing item deliveries if they ask for something. We'll get into that. Next tab is the map, and this lets you see around. Bus stop is where we arrive. For example, here's our farm, and then you can see the different places in the town. Now, this map is super useful because if you mouse around the map and just use the controller to kind of move around to the different locations, you can see when these stores, for example, in Pelican Town are open. Also, you can see who lives or works in a particular location. So this can really, really help you understand where everybody is and keep everybody straight as you meet them and know where they might be. Now, they're not always in their home. You'll have to learn where they go and where they haunt. But this is a good way to kind of find people and get around and see just an overview of the town and the surrounding area of Stardew Valley. If I go to the next tab, I get into the crafting tab, and this shows all the recipes and the things that I can make right now. It tells you, for example, this chest. If I want to make a storage chest, I'm going to need to have 50 wood, okay? So it says chest, and it tells you the ingredients. It's going to take 50 pieces of wood. That is in red because I don't have 50 pieces of wood, and the little backpack icon tells you how many pieces of wood you actually are currently carrying. I have 0. All right. Then you can go over to the collections tab, and this has different screens on it, and it just shows you all of the different things that you've found in the game, all the kind of achievements and items of each category that you've acquired, and it's just for, collecting. Then you can go into the controls tab, and just as a heads up, I have auto run enabled, okay? Also, let me see if there's anything else that I would turn on. Definitely turn pause when game window is inactive. So if you Alt-Tab away, I like that myself too, just to help pause the game so time is not moving. You can adjust your volume. You can also adjust how big the UI is if it's too small for you, and you can adjust your zoom level right here. Okay, so you can go, zoom way in here, or I'm just playing at 100% right now, but you can also do that in the upper right of the UI. Okay, and that's all of the panels in the pause menu. So let's go ahead and just push B to get out of this and move around. Now, first of all, let's go up here and check the TV. If I select the TV, there are different shows that you can watch. You can always check the weather report, okay? And this will tell you actually what the weather is going to be like tomorrow. So if I check the weather and it says your #1 source for weather, news, and entertainment, and the weather forecast for tomorrow it's going to be clear and sunny all day. Okay, so you can see on the TV screen itself, it's like, hey, look, there's a big sun. That's going to be the weather tomorrow. Now, it's not going to tell you the weather today because the game does that for you. You can already tell what the weather is. You can see it out your window. You can see it in the upper right panel. And usually your character might make some comment about it. Now, it's important to know the weather for tomorrow because it'll affect your planning. So, for example, if it's going to be a rainy day tomorrow, you know that you won't have to water your crops because the rain will do that for you. So you can plan accordingly. All right. And now we know it's going to be rainy. The other things here, the fortune teller and living off the land. If I try to watch the fortune teller, it's going to tell me, okay, the spirits are very displeased today. They will do their best to make your life difficult. So if there's anything in the game that you're trying to do, catch a rare fish, do anything that's RNG or luck-based, do not do it on a day when, like today, when the spirits are displeased. You want to like break open your geodes or do anything that's luck-based when the spirits are happy. So you can always check the fortune teller and the weather report. And on Living Off the Land, you can watch this program to get tips and tricks for the game. Okay, so it says right here, chop wood and search for forage to earn cash while waiting for your first harvest. This is a tip just for the first part of the game. They're saying, hey, you're not going to have any crops to sell. You only have a little bit of money. So while you're waiting for your crops to harvest, why don't you chop wood to sell it, which we're never going to do that pretty much, but you can sell forage as well, okay? So that's something that can be useful to just go around gathering forage items and selling them for money if you want, all right? And everything else in the house right now is cosmetic, so I'm going to walk out the front door, and boom, here is our farm, okay? Now, if I push the back button, that's at least what it is on my controller. It might be the select button. It might be the options button for you. You'll open up your journal. And this is kind of what is the pulsing exclamation point underneath your money in the upper right UI. You can click on it there to get here, or you can just push, select. And you see getting started. And it's the first kind of objective to guide us into the game. Stardew Valley is like a sandbox, do what you want kind of a game, but they do provide a little direction to get you going right at the start. And it says if you want to become a farmer, you have to start with the basics. Use your hoe to till the soil, all right? Then use a seed packet on the tilled soil to grow a crop. Water every day until the crop is ready for harvest. So the first little quest they give us is to cultivate and harvest a parsnip. Okay, so we're going to get started on that. I'm going to push B to go back, and let's look at introductions, okay? And it says, it would be a nice gesture to introduce yourself around town. Some people might be anxious to meet the new farmer. So this is basically just saying, hey, you should go talk to everybody and meet everybody. So there's 28 total people right now that they want us to go talk to, and we've already talked to 2 of them, Robin and Lewis, okay? So I'm going to push B and get out of this. So now that we're outside on the farm, and we've looked at these journal items, you'll notice that the exclamation point in the upper right no longer pulses to tell you that you have a new notification because we've cleared them all out. Now, what the most important thing I want to show you is in the bottom right, we haven't talked about this yet, is our energy bar. This explains how much energy we have to do tasks. Many of our chores will take energy to do, and as we're starting out, we don't have a lot of energy. We're new to the farming business. I'm going to pause the game to kind of talk to you about this. So, for example, chopping down things with the axe, or using the hoe, or even watering, any of these tools are going to consume our energy, some more than others, okay? And we have to manage that. We can boost that by eating food, or we can sleep. All right. So the way that this game kind of will work is at the beginning, you want to do all of your hard labor up front. And then once you're done doing stuff because your energy is really far down, it's time to do tasks that don't take energy, like talking to people, exploring the town, things like that. So remember that these items at the top of our inventory, our backpack here, correspond also to what is on the hotbar. And I'm using a controller. And in the bottom center of the screen, you'll see that I have an axe and I have my hoe. And I can cycle between these different items by using L2 and R2, okay? So, for example, this grass right here, I'm going to go to my scythe, and I can just clear out the grass with the scythe. Now, notice, I said that some of our tools, well, I said all of our tools take energy. The scythe is an exception. It doesn't actually take energy. So clearing out grass, like chopping all this grass by pushing the X button with my scythe, X is what you do to use tools, okay, will take no energy. Now, one difference, though, with the scythe is when you break up these kind of darker green small parcels of grass, okay, you get some fiber, you get drops from them. But you see this beautiful lush grass that you can actually walk through that has pink flowers? You want to try to avoid chopping this with your scythe until you build a silo, because once you do build a silo, if you chop this with your scythe, you can make hay to feed your animals and store it in there. But if you don't have a silo, you won't get anything. Now, that being said, you can always replant this by either crafting grass seeds or purchasing them, so it's not the end of the world. I just want to let you know that that's a thing. But if you need to get it out of the way, then go ahead and do that. And you can't walk through this kind of grass, okay, but you can walk through the grass that will provide you with hay. Now, each tool that you have, you want to use for different tasks that make sense. So, for example, this rock, I need to use my pickaxe to break it up, and I get a stone by doing that. So, what you are going to do early in the game is clear your farm. You'll see how congested it is. I'm going to pause it just so you can look at the screen. There's tree stumps, there's twigs, there's grass, there's weeds, there's saplings, there's full-grown trees, there's rocks, big and small. We need to clear out space so that we can then use the hoe to till and cultivate the land so that we can plant our seeds and get a small farm going, because that's the name of the game. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to plant seeds so that we can grow crops and sell them to make money. Okay, there's other ways to make money. There's lots of different things we can do. But this is the first goal that we want to have, which is planting these 15 parsnip seeds that Mayor Lewis has given us. All right. Now, notice I'm picking up some new items as I'm just going around and removing the items from the environment. So, fiber, mixed seeds, stones. I'm getting all of these things, and they go right into my bag. We're going to need to pay attention to the fact that I only have 3 empty inventory slots remaining. So at the beginning of the game, especially until you buy a bigger backpack, your inventory is kind of crowded. If you ever need to get rid of something, okay, you can simply push A to pick it up, and then you can move to the right and put it in this trash can to get rid of it. But I don't really recommend doing that. Also, you can go here and just push the organize button, and it will kind of sort the items around in your inventory. Things automatically stack in this game if you have an existing item there of that type. All right. Now, I'm going to use my axe to break up this stick, okay? You'll see that my energy bar is depleting, but not very much. I'm going to chop down this tree. Now, this is actually something that takes a lot of energy. And also, let me just show you this. Even if you miss, even if you're not actually engaging something with an activity like slashing with your axe or mining with your pick, you are actually using energy. So make sure that you're hitting what you want to hit. All right, so I'm going to break a few things here. And now we have enough space. This is just kind of empty dirt, so that I'm going to use my hoe. Okay, I'm just pushing R2 to select my hoe from the action bar at the bottom. Remember, what's selected has a red box around it. And if I hit the dirt with my hoe, you'll see that it makes this kind of different colored dirt, which indicates this has now been tilled, and I can plant seeds in this kind of dirt. So I'm going to just make an area, okay? and I'm just hitting the ground. If you hit it more than once, nothing happens, okay? And I'm going to make a small little patch so that we can plant these seeds. There. Now, if you ever want to untill the soil, okay, you can use your pickaxe and hit it, and it will turn back into just regular dirt. All right? I'm going to put that back. Now I'm going to go over and I'm going to select my seeds. Now, you'll see that when I have my seeds selected, my character will pick them up over his head, the whole packet, to show you what he's using. And if I can't plant the seeds, there will be a red box saying, hey, you can't plant that here. And if you can, it's green. And it's green because I have tilled this soil and it's good to go. So I'm just going to push X, okay? And you can actually just hold down X and walk along and just kind of plant your seeds like that. I like to just hold X and just, there we go. And I made an area that was bigger than we needed just to kind of make it symmetrical. And also, you want to start making a bigger and bigger garden, but this is a good start for us. Now, the next thing we got to do, we've planted our seeds. You can see them in the ground there. We need to water them, all right? So you till the land. You clear the land first, so you have some space. Then you till it, then you plant your seeds, and then you use the watering can. And when you water it, you'll notice how the seeds and the dirt become a darker color to reflect that they've been properly hydrated with your watering can. And you just walk over and water every single square that has seeds on it. Now, in this game, unlike Harvest Moon, you can actually walk on your dirt, or even Minecraft for that matter. You can walk on your dirt and you can walk on your seeds and it does no damage. So don't even worry about it. All right, so now we have all this planted. So that's good to go. I'm going to pause it and talk to you. So now we have some choices. What do we want to do? Do we want to go into the town to start talking to people, or do we want to work on our farm? You can do one, you can do the other, you can do both. I will say, just as a heads up, as you plan your day. Okay, number one, if you use all your energy, your character will pass out and fall down. So don't go below the bottom of your energy. You will get a warning when you're starting to get tired, okay? So don't overwork yourself, all right? Number two, your character has a bedtime. It is 2 a.m. You'd want to try to get in bed by midnight, okay? But if the game ticks 2 or beyond 2, your character will pass out from exhaustion, and you will lose time the next day. If you stay up too late, your character will sleep in. But as long as you get in bed, I like to get in bed before midnight, or at least before 1. You will wake up and you will be fine, no repercussions, okay? But if you go to bed late, you will start the day later and you will have less energy to boot. So it's kind of a big detractor. And sometimes you'll get charged money by the town doctor for taking care of you, which is a bummer. So don't stay out too late. Make sure you're close enough to your house to get back, all right? So try to start heading back to your house by 10 or 11 p.m. to make sure that you can get home fast enough to go to sleep before your bedtime. Also, make sure that you don't overwork yourself from exertion. And as long as you're managing those things, then you can do what you like. There's no real rush. Everyone in town will be there. You can talk to them. You can get those things going in their own right. So do what you want to do first, okay? Also, just be known that people in town occupy their own schedule. So their shops will be open from a certain time, and then they will go around, do their social activities, relax, recreate, that kind of stuff, and then go home and go to sleep. So late at night, they won't be outside necessarily unless they're a character that likes to be outside late at night. And remember, you can always just go to the map and see, number one, where you are. Your big picture of your head will appear on the portion of the map that you're on. We're at our farm. And if we go over, for example, this is Harvey. This is the town doctor that will revive you. You can see his clinic is open from 9 to 3. So he's actually going to close really soon. Not that we can't talk to him, just that we can't use his services or buy stuff from his shop. The general store is where you go to buy all kinds of seeds and things for your garden, and this closes at 5. So we might want to go in town and buy some seeds from Pierre, and let's do that right now. All right, so I'm just going to walk to the right, and we're going to keep going. Now, let me show you this. You see these worms poking out of the dirt right here? If you ever see worms like this, go ahead and select your hoe and use it, and we got an ancient doll, okay? You found an artifact. The curator of the local museum might want to know more about this. So if I push start to go to our inventory, and I find an ancient doll. This is another type of item. You'll notice how it says artifact in kind of like purple letters. Gunther has a museum in Pelican Town, and if you go talk to Gunther, okay, you will be able to turn this in, and he starts to give you rewards if you get a certain amount of artifacts turned in. He can give you more information and story about them, and he will put them on display within his museum. So these are fantastic to get and get the rewards for doing so. So whenever you see worms, dig them up. You might not get an artifact, but you might get some other kind of reward, so they're great. Also, take a look at this flower right here. If I actually push the A button on this flower, I pick it up, and it's a dandelion. This is a forage type item. You'll see it's green. It says forage below dandelion. And whenever you pick up a forage item, you can sell it. You can, in this case, consume it. And you also are raising up your forage skill. Now, you'll notice that this gives you 25 energy and 11 health. We haven't talked about health yet, but that's like basically another bar that will show up when you're in a combat situation, and it reflects how many hit points you have or how much health you have. And if you get taken below your health, you will get knocked out, just like if you pass out, basically. Now, I want to take a quick moment and just articulate more specifically some of the penalties for using all your energy, losing all your health, and staying up too late. I kind of was like hinting that these are negative things and suggesting some of the penalties because I want to keep this guide really beginner friendly, but some of these penalties are so severe that let me just specifically tell you what these are to avoid confusion. So for example, if you go to 0 energy, you will become overexerted, and your character will be like move slower, and you will get less energy the next day as a result of that. Even if you were to, example, eat this dandelion to give yourself 25 extra energy, you would go above 0 energy, and you could then still do stuff and spend that energy, but you do not lose the overexertion tag. So you really want to avoid going to exactly 0 energy. If you go below 0 energy, if you go to negative 15 energy, your character will pass out. So you don't want that to happen. Whenever you pass out, you will get revived back at your... you might wake up at the clinic, you might wake up at your house, depends. You will get revived, and you'll have to pay a penalty to whomever wakes you up, basically, and rescues you. Similarly, if you get knocked out by going to 0 health, you will wake up in a place that... It depends on where you got knocked out, and whoever rescues you will extract a fee, and you will also lose some items if you get knocked out from health, okay, out of your inventory. And if you stay up past midnight, okay, then you will start the next day with less energy, and if you go beyond 2, you will pass out and have all of the pass out consequences, okay? So you can't stay up past 2. The game will just shut down. It'll save itself, and you will just wake up having been rescued by somebody. So you want to avoid going to 0 health. You want to avoid going to 0 energy, or especially below 0 energy, for that matter. And you want to avoid staying up past midnight if you can, because of the penalties. Now, I stay up past midnight all the time because you don't get the overexertion, and once you have a lot of food, it's not that big of a deal. But you definitely do not want to stay up past 2. So you need to be close for that to happen. Now, this dandelion that we picked up, if I eat this, I can restore some of my energy, and eating food is a great way to keep doing things if you've got more time in the day, okay? So I'm going to eat this, but I will also say I'm eating it just kind of as a demonstration. usually in Stardew Valley, you want to try to keep everything that you collect. And you want like at least one of every item because people might want them for a quest, or they might request them from you, or you might need it to cook a recipe or do something with later. So you want to have on hand like as many things as you can, with the exception of the items that you can turn into Gunther at the museum. For example, like these you always want to give Gunther at the museum, and if he doesn't have it already, he will accept it. If he's already got it, then you can't give it to him, and you can sell it or you can keep it, do whatever you want with it. All right. So if I want to eat this, I just have to go down to my bar and select it and push A, and it will say, do you want to eat it? And you say yes, and then my character chomps it. Okay. And you'll see that my energy bar did indeed refill. All right. So we're going to continue moving over to the right into Pelican Town. All right. So what you want to do is look around and talk to everyone you can. Well, here's Harvey just chilling right here. Remember, he closed his clinic at 3, so he's out here. And it says, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Harvey, the local doctor. Now, if I go into the relationship tab, you'll see that I just met Harvey. He shows up now. He's single. And the dialogue box has a green X through it, meaning today I have talked to Harvey. Okay? And here is a little kid. It's Vincent. Oh, a stranger. My name's Vincent. Mama says not to talk to strangers, but you seem okay. That's right, I am okay. Now, before I lose all my time, I'm going to quickly run up and go into Harvey's store. I'm sorry, not Harvey's, Pierre's, right here. And I want to buy stuff. So I'm going to walk in and talk to Pierre behind the desk. And now you see we can buy seeds and farming stuff, food, from Pierre. He sells all kinds of gardening things. So you'll see he sells seeds and bulbs. He sells grass if you want to plant that grass we talked about with the hay. He sells you the recipe if you want to craft your own grass. He sells you stuff you can cook with, and even some cosmetic stuff, like if you want to change how the floor looks in your home or change how the wallpaper looks. You can plant trees, all kinds of stuff. Now, trees are expensive, and what I recommend is that we start out with some seeds. All right? Now, there's lots and lots of different advice on what to plant, okay? And there's the max money that you can go for, the most efficient stuff you can go for. In my opinion, just don't stress about it. Pick what seems cool to you, okay? I'm going to give you some advice, but there's achievements for growing like 10 of everything in the game, so there's nothing wrong with growing different things, but what you can do is compare. Parsnip seeds grow super fast, and they're super cheap, all right? Now, beans, okay, they take 10 days to mature, but then they keep growing after that. So beans are nice because once you plant them once, you can harvest them and then not have to spend money on seeds and buy them again, all right? But they do take 10 days. Cauliflower are going to give us the most money of these, but they take 12 days. And then potatoes takes 6 days, and then you get a chance of getting multiple potatoes at the harvest. Tulips are flowers, okay? Kale is reasonable if you want to sell this. Jazz are flowers, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what? I'm going to buy a ton of parsnip seeds. The reason I'm doing this, okay, is because they're cheap and they'll mature quickly, and then I can buy some more expensive stuff like cauliflower seeds. I can't buy that many right now. So I'm going to buy 15 parsnip seeds and leave myself with 200 money. There's actually nothing wrong with just spending all of your money right here, to be honest, okay? Because you can always sell stuff whenever you want to Mayor Lewis by putting it in your bin, or you can bring stuff into Pierre and sell it to him or any shop that will accept those items from you, okay? So at this point, oh, and by the way, if you want to sell something, all right, you scroll through his list with the up and down keys on the directional pad or with the left stick. And then if you push R2, you jump over to your own inventory and you can sell stuff from your inventory. Now, things that he won't buy are grayed out, and he will buy these mixed seeds, for example, or these parsnip seeds. Now, the mixed seeds, he's not going to give us any money for. The parsnip seeds, he'll give us half price. Don't sell it back. Okay, we're just going to push circle and close this out. And I'm going to, if you select something that you can use at any time, you'll carry it above your head. It looks weird. So you can just select a weapon like the axe when you're in town, and you won't be holding it out. Now I'm going to talk to Pierre behind the desk and just trigger a dialogue option with him. And he'll tell you that he'll buy your produce and he'll buy your seeds. Okay? And then we can go down here and talk to Leah and get some more introductions. And as I go in here, you'll see I'm just meeting people in the town. And we got a new quest for archaeology, which says visit Gunther at the museum to turn in our item. Now, if I push start and go over here, you'll see that if I select Gunther's museum, if I just move around, here we go. The Stardew Valley Museum and Library, which is on the far right of Pelican Town, is open till 6 p.m. So I have enough time actually to get there. But let me show you this. If I select this bulletin board next to Pierre's shop here, there's nothing posted today, okay? But if I go next to the post, people will post requests, things that they want, and if you give it to them, they will give you some kind of reward, and you earn relationship bonus social points with them. Now you can also click on this calendar, and this calendar is really cool because it tells you when people's birthdays are. So for example, Lewis's birthday is on spring day 7, and if you give people a gift on their birthday, you get a huge boost to the relationship with them because they love getting something on their birthday. Now, you can give people a gift at any time, but what you're going to do is try to start giving people things, and they will tell you what they like and what they don't like. And so you can look all this up online. Of course, there's exact explanations on the wiki of like what everybody likes, so you can give them the best gifts possible if you want. Or you can just try to give them stuff and figure it out on your own over time. They will keep a list for each person of what they like and what they don't like. And if you give them something they like on their birthday, it's a nice big boost for you. These purple flags are holidays where there's some kind of town event going on. Now, just keep in mind, usually on these days, it might take time. The town might close down, and you might need to go do this, and you won't get to farm that day or do the stuff that you wanted to do or buy stuff in town because everything closes. So just kind of plan around that. You can always check this calendar here, and later you can build one in your home too, so you can look at it in your house. All right, I'm going to just kind of go over and just talk to people. It's Alex, the football player. Oh, hey, you're the new guy, huh? Cool. I am. It is cool. Right. Oh, look, we can talk to a lot of people. Evelyn's here. Why, hello, and welcome to our little community, dear. You can call me Granny if you like. I will not. And here we have Penny. Oh, hello, I'm Penny. And Maru. Oh, aren't you the one who just moved in? I'm Maru. I've been looking forward to meeting you. Maru is awesome. In my Let's Play, this is the one that I chose to marry. She's a very happy scientist. Okay. Here's Mayor Lewis again. So how was your first night in the old cottage? It was great. You can just roll across the bridge here. Move on over. And here is the museum. All right. Now just a tip. You can look through the trash can by pushing A and see if there's anything inside. But if anybody sees you doing that, they will be disgusted. So only look through the trash when nobody's looking. And if we go in here, we're going to get a little cutscene from Gunther, the man in the blue cowboy outfit. Abysmal. Not a single piece in the entire collection. What's this? You found something? Let me see it. He's looking at it. He's checking it out. Remarkable. It's very old. I'd love to study this in greater detail, but it's yours. I got a favor to ask you. Would you consider donating any new artifacts or minerals that you find? We could make a groundbreaking discovery together. Oh, and who knows? If you keep donating, I might come across some interesting items to send your way. Yes, I will do that. Think about it, will you? If you decide, just bring the objects to the front desk. All right? And you'll see the museum is entirely empty, and it's our job to fill it with awesome stuff that we find. So I will. I'm going to donate to the museum. And I'm going to donate that doll that we found. And I'm going to donate it, put it right here. By the way, just a heads up, like those worms that I found, those are random. So you might not find worms in the spot that I did in your game. You might find more worms, and you might not find this doll. There's a random chance to determine what you find when you unearth something. Some of these artifacts are way rarer than others, and you get to put it down, and we complete the quest, and it says done, and we get 250 gold for completing this quest. So all you have to do is go to your options menu, go to your quest tab, and then what you need to do is select the quest that says done, and make sure you go down to the reward and push the A button, and then boom, we just got a bunch of money. So how about that? And Gunther says, it doesn't seem like you have anything to donate, and I don't. So fair enough. I had some stuff. By the way, in the museum, there's books that you will find, and as you play and unlock more rewards, and more books will open up inside the library, and you can read them for tips and tricks on the game. All right, now I'm going to run back home. It's getting late. I could spend the rest of my time here in town talking to everyone, but instead, oh, hey, look at this. It's Elliot, the new farmer we've all been expecting, and whose arrival has sparked many a conversation. I'm Elliot. I live in a little cabin by the beach. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's nice to meet you too, Elliot. All right. So I'm just kind of talking to people as I see them. We've already talked to Leah here, so we don't need to talk to her again. You can freely go in people's houses, by the way, and talk to them, but there are certain rooms of theirs, like their bedroom, will be locked until you boost your relationship with them. Look at these cows over here. I came through the southern door to moving to the west from Pelican Town, and I'm basically going underneath my farm. And this is Marnie's Animal Place, but it closed. I was late by 6 minutes. Now, this is a big, I'm going to show you on the map where I'm at. This is a big Marnie's Ranch down here. It's a huge area. There's a giant fishing pond. There's the Wizard's Tower. There's other things to explore here. But you can come through this place and get resources, look for worms, look for forage. But if you go up north on this path, you will get back to our own farm. And this is our farm. That's our pond. And by the way, see this pond? I'm going to push R2 to select our watering can. And I'm going to push X, and we can fill it up. You can fill up your can at any water source, as it explains, and that's one that we can do. All right. So I need to get up back to my house. So I'm going to need to clear the way. There's just so much debris here. So I'm just going to break this and, use my scythe and bust this, and then walk through all this grass. And chop this down. And eventually, we have come back. Here we are. So the next thing I want to do is, before the day passes, I want to just go ahead and plant all my seeds. Keep an eye on your energy. Make sure you don't get too tired. All right? And let's see. Bam. And then now we're going to use our can and get everything watered as it's getting dark. All right. And now we have all of our parsnip seeds watered up and are ready to go. And it's 8:30 p.m. So we can spend some time here just gathering resources that we might need. I'll tell you what I definitely need is lumber. All right. I want to build a storage chest at some point. And you can always just push start to go to the pause menu and then go over to the hammer icon to check the crafting. And if I want a chest, I need 50 wood. And I only have 14 wood. So we're going to need a lot of wood. So why don't we chop down a tree? This is going to be difficult. It's going to take a long time. But as you see, it gives us a lot of wood. All right, we got 17 from doing that. So chopping down a full tree gives you sap, which you use for crafting. It might give you a seed to plant the tree, and it gives you a lot of lumber. You can also chop out the stump like I'm doing there. And let's see, how are we doing on wood at this point? We need one more piece. Great. So I'm going to chop this wood right here, and now we have 50. And I'm going to go back to the crafting menu, and I'm going to make a chest. I'm going to push A to craft it, and you'll see that the chest that I just made goes into my inventory, and it actually even goes onto my hotbar. And all I have to do is select it, and then I can put it down wherever it's green. I'm going to put it right next to my house, right here. I'm just going to push A, and the chest is now constructed. I'm going to push A in front of it, and now I'm going to start storing my items in here, okay? So I'm going to put my sap, my seeds, my fiber, my stone, just to free up inventory space. You'll see how big this chest is. Now, the cool thing about chests are you can color code them, to help make them more distinct. If you want, you can organize the items that are in here, and you got one of the best features in the game, which is add to existing stacks, which means you can just push this button, and if you have anything that's already in the chest in your inventory, it will just take out all of those items and stack them on top in your chest. So it's a great way to keep yourself organized. Now, I have a little bit of energy left, so I'm just going to try to use the rest of my energy. You see my bar changing colors, okay? And I'm going to just try to be efficient. I got plenty of time left, okay? So I'm going to get myself some stone, and I'm going to just try to use up energy until I can't use up any more to feel like I've gotten a good day working. And let me show you this. My axe isn't strong enough to break the stump. Some items, big rocks, tree stumps, you cannot break with the tools you have. You'll have to upgrade them. Now you'll notice my exertion bar, or my energy bar rather, got these sweat icons that were highlighting itself, being like, hey, you're doing too much work, you need to stop, and I will. And I'm going to go back into the house and be like, I'm not going to use any more energy. I don't want to risk overexerting myself. It's 11 p.m. I want to get to sleep before midnight so I don't lose any energy the next day. And I just walk into my bed and it says, go to sleep for the night. And you say yes. And then what happens is the progress is saved. And it's a new day. It's 6 a.m. and we're ready to begin spring day 2. Okay? So, everyone, I hope that you found this first episode of our Complete Beginner's Guide to Stardew Valley to be useful, fun, and informative. It's something that I'm going to continue to show you more function in the game, explain more aspects of it, but hopefully you have a good sense now of some of the controls, some of the things you can be doing, the mechanics, the UI, and you can really settle in and love this game because it is a tremendous experience. If you have any questions about the game, I'd love to answer them. Please put those in the comments below. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Take care.